Yo, welcome to Forever Sports. Fantastic game there between the Blue Bulls and the Stormers. A typical South African derby. Started off perhaps a bit scrappy the first half, but I think as the game wore on, it just got better and better as the guys sort of settled into what exactly they are trying to achieve. But I think just going back on the first half, I think the big difference between the first half Blue Bulls and the second half Blue Bulls is that they seem to be a bit more patient. They went through the phases, right? I think the first half they had to go forward. In the second half, we saw that perhaps the Stormers' defensive line started, tiring. The Blue Bulls were able to hit more gaps, right? And I think just generally throughout the whole game, in terms of discipline, right, the defensive system of the Stormers were put under immense pressure, right? And I think just in terms of the results of the game, the outcome rather, right? It's no surprise that the Bulls have actually slightly just edged the Stormers, because I think the Bulls are the ones who definitely made majority of the play in the game. But I thought also in the first half, the Stormers did very well with the limited amount of ball they had. When they actually got into the striking zones, when they got into the 22, they actually made it count. That's why they had sort of the 10-point lead going to halftime, right? And I think, again, one of the players that we had highlighted right at the top of the show, and a couple of our viewers who joined us on the live watch, was definitely, Edwil van der Merwe. I think Edwil van der Merwe throughout the season, and it was going to be a big battle between him and Madosh Tambo, because I think Madosh Tambo has also had a very good season, right? Topping practically every single category in terms of meters run, defenders beaten, line breaks, etc. But I think Edwil van der Merwe, once again, right, he just put a stamp and just establish himself that, listen, he's here, and perhaps that the national selectors are someone that they should be looking at, right? And I think over the last sort of month and a half, it's when we've, gotten to see Edwil come onto his own, gotten to see what he's all about. And I think he's got a complete game, right? Definitely one of the bolters for me for the Springboks. So the Stormers went into halftime with a 17-7 lead. Right, I think in terms of balance of the play, right, one could argue the Bulls should have been in the lead because they did all the play, right, but the Stormers were able to put their chances away. But going to the second half, we saw the Blue Bulls become more clinical. It seems as though it was a very successful team talk at halftime, and by virtue of that, it meant that the Bulls were clinical, and when they actually got into the strike zone, into the Stormers' sort of 22 area, they actually left, they came away with a number of points. But besides Edward, it was fantastic to see Spec Magic get his debut for the Stormers, right, being there on loan from the Cheetahs. And hopefully, listen, he had a fantastic try assist, and I think Speckman is generally, just he's a good wing, and we should not be surprised should he make the cut for the British and Irish Lions, sort of in terms of the extended squad. But I thought also the man who sort of then took over the captain reins from Dwayne Vermeulen, Marcel Coetzee, was massive today. It's fantastic to see him fit. It's fantastic to see him on the park. I think was fantastic in contact. I think he offloaded. He tried to keep the continuity. So he was very strong in his ball carrying. But I also think equally in defense, he was very effective in that area, right? And also we saw how much it meant for him to score the try. I think also my man of the match, if it weren't for Edwil van der Merwe, who scored 2 tries and I think was just brilliant in terms of his kick chase and retrieving ball and scoring the 2 tries, was Ruan Nortje. I think that's also another quality lock that we have to build on the quality stock that we have as a country. I think he was fantastic. He was fantastic in the tight, but equally fantastic in the loose. Always there for the support, always running into the gaps. So it was fantastic to see that. I think also Dwayne Vermeulen, before hopefully Hopefully, crossing fingers that he's all good. He was also good. Had a very good game. Was going forward. It was fantastic in that area. Um, but I think it was a bit of a worry to see two of our Springboks limp off the field in Dwayne Vermeulen and obviously Hirsch, who sort of, limped off quite early. But I think also another positive from a Springbok Stormers side is to see how well Damian Willemse did, right? And I think Damian Willemse has been somewhat, unfortunately, scrutinized at times, right? Maybe it's because we expect more from him. We're demanding more from him, which is absolutely fair. But I think he's also had a decent season in terms of his ball carrying from the back. And we also saw in the last 10 minutes of those games that he actually looked like he can get the Stormers into the right playing positions. I know the Edwin van der Merwe, just leading up to that try, even just the way he took onto the line, the way he joined the line and was playing the 10 role, it just seemed that the Stormers had more punch. They were working faster, they were going faster, and what he was doing well was taking it to the line and then having options and allowing the guys to play on the advantage line and pass the advantage line, which is fantastic. And also his territorial kicking. I think we saw, especially the one play in the 2-3 minutes, where good clearance. He then also got the ball. He took it again, and he put the Stormers in the right playing position. But it's just unfortunate that, the Stormers couldn't get over the line. But I think all in all, a fantastic game. And I think, interesting to see what Springbok management have in store for us in terms of the squad and the British and the Irish Lions. But from me, I am Ulukanye Chongweni, right? And it's been an absolute pleasure being with you guys. Thank you very much and good night.